Hey guys, day three. We're just going to cover a couple of quick things here to get us to our final drawings of our flower that we pick. So you're going to paint all 8 pages of the watercolor packet, and you can get that graded. Remember, it's every other page on the one that's front to back, and then the second packet, including 2 flowers. Then you're going to pick a flower that you want to draw, sketch that with pencil, like you can see I've done already, and then give it a whirl as far as trying to paint it. You're required on your final to have a background wash, like we have here. Try to show some dimension with adding some color behind your flower, and if you want to add a bee or some clouds or any of those things, you can. So I'll show you some of those techniques, and then you can get started. So first thing I'm going to start with is my background wash. I like to use a light color with that and quite a bit of paint, or excuse me, quite a bit of water. So that's going to go on, and pretty dark on one side. Go ahead and get some clean water and start moving that wash up the paper. If you want to lighten it up, put a little more water on it, and always dab some away. You do not want to get your wash on the flower at all. Okay. That's yellow on the bottom. I'm going to do a really, really, really light blue. On top. Just so that paper isn't just plain white. Okay, I got a little piece of scrap paper, so I can test before I put it on the page. I'll give your background some dimension. Okay. Now a couple different ways to lay paint. Put water on my brush. Put some color down, and I'm going to let it sit for a second. So I'm going to blend these 2 colors together. Wet on wet. Hopefully to help give that flower a little dimension. If we wanted that to be a little more pastel, we can come in here and take some of the color off with our paper towel. And I'm going to add a little water on top to give it that watercolor look. This flower might look a little goofy because I'm going to do some different things with each one. Start with color, go to clean brush. Work yourself to no color at all. Nice gradient down to the base. This big petal. We'll start with a lot of paint down below. Again, I'll do the same technique as I just did, but kind of the opposite. Kind of flooded that, and I'm going to blot it away. Give a really super soft petal. Now with just a little bit of color, because I had so much wet there, came back and added that in. Notice it kind of bled into the paint a little bit. Kind of like that effect. Just a touch of purple left on my brush, so I wanted to add that to that flower, the petal I just did earlier. Tell when you're using these kind of colors, it's super important that you get them really, really clean. Using a drier brush in this application. A little more paint control. You can see, you can get some different ideas. And our last petal. Show the top of it as being, this side will be the lightest. And this will be the darkest. We'll hit the bottom edge, the underside. Okay, when some of that stuff is dry, you can do some dry brush techniques to add some detail. This is where you want to use just the very tip. Darken the inside of that flower. Nice and easy. Okay. Do some yellow on the middle. This is where you want to make sure that you really have a clean brush, because you're going to see any of that blue or purple. And I'm going to put a little light spot on there. Leave that blank. Just some straight green. For my stem, attempted to do a little texture, but it really didn't come out how I had hoped. So I got in there and softened that up. So I got a little careless. Try to clean that up a little bit on that edge. I'll let that dry just a second. I want to put a dark edge on the outside. Again, trying to make that look a little bit dimensional. Add in a couple leaves. Different amounts of paint here, so we get a little bit of variation in that leaf. Touch of yellow. Come back with some wet green. Finish that off. Next I'll throw in a cloud. I'm going to put that cloud base about right there. I want to put a nice soft amount of blue paint. And then with clean water and a clean brush, just going to pull some of that paint back. If you want it darker, you can add a little more paint. If you want it lighter, just go over it with your paper towel. And make that soft. Move that paint around. You have a little cloud in the background. Okay. Finish this off with a few little details on top of the flower. There you have it. There's some ideas. Here's another one that I did earlier. If you have any questions, said it's end of day 3, and finish up your packet, and then you'll do a practice and a final flower painting. All right, good luck.